Well, hello again, fellow crafters. This is DM Blairwolf, and I'm making asteroid sets for Kappa Cup. Now, I play this game called X-Wing. It's a tabletop game. It's Star Wars. Halloweenville knows all about it. You can check him out and ask him all about it. He's starting to get into it lately. Um, Basically, there are these sets of asteroids that I make. Oops, knocking things over now. Yeesh. But they look like this, basically. They come on a stand. Basically, what they are is they're three-dimensional asteroids, so that the ships can fly around them. I make 6 large, and then 6 small. 6 large for normal gameplay, and then 6 small for Armada, which is another Star Wars tabletop ship game, but it's in a smaller scale. So I also, in this kit, give 6 small asteroids so that people who play Armada can use them. Well, basically this is what I do. I mount the asteroid onto a black base that I make with dowels and little woodsies from the craft store. As you can see, they're large like this on these. It's a dowel and then a woodsy. Okay, I drill the hole out in the middle and then I plug it and glue it. I'm sure you all know how it's done. I then paint it black. I coat it black. Then I coat it regular brown, and then I use beige. To just kind of bring out the highlights in the rock, like this. Now these sets are gonna be used first and foremost for a narrative that we're having. We'll need like 125 asteroids for the ships to fly through. So what I'm going to do is I'm making these sets for sale, and then when we get there, the narrative is going to take place before the tournament opens on Saturday. So we'll use the asteroids from that, and then anybody who buys a set of asteroids will be buying a set that was used at the 2016 Kappa Cup. And every one of them is unique. There's no two the same. They're all different sizes, shapes, as you can see. Okay. And basically, with 6 of them being in a set, I do 6 at a time. So basically, I'll walk you guys through one of the sets being made here. It's the same process for the first large set of asteroids. That's why I cut right to the end part, and then you can see how the actual painting takes place on a smaller scale, which would be probably more difficult in most people's eyes, and then packaging, and everything, take you guys through just a building of a set of these asteroids for Kappa Cup. Now, there's to me, there's no real rhyme or reason. I just kind of have fun, basically. I don't try to pick out certain spots when I'm putting my second dark coat on, or brown coat, I mean. To me, the real life of the asteroid comes out when I'm going to put on the finishing the final coat, which at this point is 3 colors. The black underneath for the depth of the holes in the asteroids, as you can see them there, and then brown, and then light brown. So to me, the brown and light brown is building the body color of the asteroid. The darkness brings out the depth of the holes so that they're more noticeable and more pleasing, in my opinion. So like I said, this coat here really has no rhyme or reason to me. And as you can see, with them all being different, they're all hand-picked. I just kind of take the asteroids and look at what I already have and then see what could possibly go along with this. Like here, maybe like a tall one. Yeah, there we go. And it's smaller. Good. So basically, each set is unique. I mean, there's no 2 asteroids alike. That's the good thing about this craft. And I've been selling sets of these at my local game stores. X-Wing players are buying them. I started out just giving the sets away to a random person at a tournament, just to kind of get them out there and into people's hands so they could give me feedback on whether or not they liked them, what they would change. Then they kept in contact with me because they're in our league, and they gave me tips and ideas and feedback to see how, like this was tried out with different types of material and different paint schemes, stuff like that. It's kind of been a work in progress, and now I think we got enough of a feedback to create a product, and that's kind of what I'm doing with my Etsy account, is putting the stuff that I create by hand from 2 simple materials and 3 pieces, and then my time to paint it. So basically, you can see this hole here. I'm going to try later on. I'll show you guys how to bring stuff like that out. Make it look more, at least to me, look more real. Because I think there's an element of asteroids that people are forgetting when they are creating their sets. I see them make them out of styrofoam, and they just paint them a flat color, and there's just no I don't know, depth, no real look to the asteroid to make it look like it's in space. One thing I think those Terrain in a Box and those other places, I think what they're doing is they're skipping realism for convenience or price. I mean, I think a machine probably pumps them out at that rate, or something. I mean, I've never bought them, but I can only assume by the way they look, So now we're at the point where the white is going to be put on the rock, okay? This is where I begin to think about what I'm doing. Up until this point, it's no rhyme or reason. It's just there because it's going to be underneath, and it's just going to give body to the asteroid to begin with. So what I do is I find the high points of the rock, and I kind of try to bring them out the best I can with this white, which is just simple acrylic paint. Apple barrel paints is what I use for 95% of my crafts or products that I make, because they take well with a sealant, like when I spray them with Mod Podge or whatever. Now, sometimes I'll put ice effects on these. Like if I want to make an individual set, I'll put an ice effect on it, use Mod Podge or some ice effects, and put them together and make them. Now, here's let's go with this one. Here's the one I was showing you earlier with this pit in it. Now, with all the other steps being there, just do them. What I do is I kind of take these pitty high points here on this rock, because it's got a lot of them, and I kind of just bring them out like this. And then around spots like this where the holes are, because here's where my ideal of like the places don't think about what an asteroid should look like. I mean, in my opinion, it's damn cold in space. I mean, like like you would freeze solid, I think, if I recall correctly from astronomy. I'm not quite sure the degrees in centigrade or Celsius or whatever, but I know it's really, 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 really cold. So to me, anything in space should probably, especially if it's coming from deep space, like if it's coming into us or near us, our planet, it had to have come from Milky Way as far as I'm concerned, which is probably deep space. So there's probably a level of frost on this asteroid, at least in my opinion. So see how in that hole right there, you can see the asteroid, but I kind of just gobbed up around the outer edges here to make it look more like it's flying through space and it's catching snow, or ice. I mean, or it's just cold and freezing. I don't know. I interpret space that way, that like it should be freezing cold. I I think if I recall, the movie Sphere has like in space, when they're in space, there's like frost on the guy's visor. I think that's the movie I'm thinking about. Sphere. It's one of the. It's a movie like that. If it's not that movie, it's a movie like that. But I'm pretty certain because that had like Samuel L. Jackson and stuff. But I digress. So 2 more asteroids here. I have 12 sets that I have to make and have ready for the narrative for the amount of asteroids there are. It equals out to 12. Well, a little over 12 sets, but those asteroids will just be in a bag. I mean, there's like 2 strays. So I'll just keep them in a bag. I have them over there. And see, again, just kind of picking up the high points with the paint. The highest peaks would be the whitest and the coldest as far as I'm concerned, because they're flying through space. They're kind of got all that friction kind of. Sorry about that, guys. It's getting kind of late here, so gotta kind of entertain myself while I do this. Plus, this kind of brings out the depth in the asteroid as well, because you're hitting those peaks, see? And it's not destroying the look. It's just kind of making it look more real in my eyes. Like that looks like something coming in from outer space, that looks like one of my favorites. I'll have to take a picture of this one. I have to remember to take a picture of that asteroid. That's a really nice asteroid as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so that step's done. Wash out our brush so it doesn't get crappy. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I use this tiny little brush for base coat. Excuse me, guys. For like my flat coats, and then I use it for my detail because the end kind of goes a little squirrely there. If anybody wants to know, this is it's a makeup brush. I seen it at the CVS. It was like $2. It looked real soft and like it would be great for dry brushing. And now I've used it so much that the ends have filed off from the roughness of the asteroids. It kind of grinds them off after a while, so I have to soon get another brush. But that's the kind of brush I use, and I kind of like how it comes to a point there. It's kind of natural. It's able to get down in crevices and things, so it's not really that bad, and it seems to be holding out at that shape, so maybe it's just meant to be. I don't know. Maybe getting a new one would be stupid of me. Let me know what you think. Comments. Why not? Okay, so now at this point, I use a brush that's fan flat. I don't know if you guys can see this. I got the weirdest lighting tonight. I'm sitting in a different part of my house and doing this because all the other stuff is over there and in the way. So then I take black paint and I touch up the post so there's no paint on it, and then I paint the bottom, because you can't paint the bottom when you first paint the pole, because you need your finger there to hold it and you have to sit it down to dry. So what I do is, when that's done, I just lay the asteroid down like that. Now somebody said something to me about putting Mod Podge on the bottom, and I gave that a try for my home set for myself when I was sort of table testing these. Oh, as a matter of fact, a friend of mine and I, we developed a set of movement rules for these as well. So if anybody would want a set and would like the movement rules to go with them, I would just have to make the base a little different to accommodate that type of action. But I didn't think that that kind of thing would be popular enough at Kappa Cup to install that into all of them. So that's more like a special feature, I guess. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess my videos seem to get longer these days. But I figured I'd show you guys what I go through here. I mean, I take, as you can see, I take my time. Everything I do, I make sure that, you know, each step is represented and thought out well so that the product can have quality and realistic look. I mean, that's my favorite one yet. That really is. I must have made a couple thousand of these. Oh no, maybe 400. We have a Kappa Squad Facebook page. I don't necessarily have it. Adam does, the co-creator of the Kappa Cup. My co-creator, I guess. There's, from what I understand, there's 3 of us. But it seems to me Adam puts in a lot more than than his fair share. He's really going out of his way to make this a special event. So, more. There you go. Number 6. Then we clean our brush. Sorry about my coughing, man. A friend of the family's was in here today, and she was just coughing. I mean, I think she gave me something. Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, so at this point they're drying. You can see they dry pretty quickly. I mean, it's acrylic paint, so it doesn't take but a hot minute. And then I take the 6 asteroids and I put them in here. Like this. Now these cases I especially ordered from a company with the type of production I had in mind. These cases work out great. I first got these cases from Walmart, but over a period of time, Walmart stopped carrying them. I don't know why. I guess they didn't sell enough. So they have 6 big pockets and then 2 little pockets, and I think that's perfect, because then when you buy this set, like another thing with the game stores, terrain in a box and so forth is, yeah, terrain in a box. It comes in a box, but where do you keep it? The asteroids for that set of, for that brand of product, you take it out of the box, and you gotta find some place to put it, sit it. So the catting, you don't come home, you don't want the cat batting around. So, when we started thinking about this, or at least when I started thinking about it, I thought about keeping them safe, because they're a handmade product. They're individual. They're unique. Each one is different. There's no two alike. Um, so I thought, well, maybe I should offer them in a case. That way, you can be proud of what you have and keep it safe. I mean, after all, you pay your hard-earned money for it. So, as always, if you've seen any of my other videos, you get a DM Blair Props certificate. And now we're starting to put these little paper cards in. They're like a business card, but I ran them off on my printer because I haven't gotten business cards yet. And I think this is a more efficient way. I mean, you buy 500 business cards and you put one in every thing. I mean, that looks professional, but this seems, it does the same thing. You just got to cut it out of the piece of paper, you know. So then it goes inside there. So when you open it, you see it. It goes in there. And then the piece of paper advertising what the product is on top. And then it goes into the plate. Just like that. And I got like 6 more to go. And it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to stop, slowing down here. I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. And I'm going to get this done because I have to have them done by tomorrow. And I got to be up and ready by 10 a.m. to start setting up things at the Kappa tournament for the weekend, the Twitch feed and all that stuff. So out at the Penn Inn on the Carlisle Pike. If you're a local subscriber of mine, feel free. It's the old Wanda's on the Carlisle Pike, right across from KARABAS. It's now called the Park Inn, I think. It's downstairs. It's the East Ballroom. So, I mean, feel free to come check us out. Friday the 22nd and Saturday the 23rd. It's just going to be awesome. There's all kinds of tournaments and things, and if you're local and you can come out, you can see the terrain I made close up and in person, that you guys have been watching me make along the way, and maybe even check out some of these really cool asteroids, because they're unique in themselves. So till next time, subscribers, fellow crafters, men, women, children alike. Thank you for checking me out, and thanks for watching. I hope that you learned something, or it was useful, or at least that I didn't waste your however long the video is. I haven't looked at the camera yet. I hope I didn't waste your time. I hope it was worth the wait. Till then, thank you.